Hi, this is Dr. Orlando from Advanced Health Partners, formerly known as Medicom Management Services. And I'm here to talk today about the issue of returned mail. The returned mail that we're getting is generally statements that are sent to the patient when the patient has a balance, when the post office cannot locate the patient for whatever reason. Sometimes they have a forwarding address and they let us know when they send the mail back. And in that circumstance, we'll just correct it and put in the correct address. But a great deal of the time, all we get back is something that says either address unknown or cannot find recipient, uh, with generally no information on why. So this all has been getting researched in the billing office. As it turns out, it seems like a lot of the issues can be corrected at the site level. We find that there's occasionally missing information, like the apartment number isn't there, or like the zip code isn't matching up to the correct town, or issues that, again, can generally be found in AdvancedMD and don't really take a lot of research. So what you're going to receive every morning is a fax. It looks almost identical to the fax that you're all already getting for the incomplete charts, but it should be a separate page. Okay, and it's going to look like this one. It's going to have the name, the date of birth. It won't necessarily have a visit date because it doesn't necessarily need to be tied to a date that they came in. Okay, um, so in this case, obviously I blacked out the dates of birth here. What you would do is you would get this fax just as it is, go log into AdvancedMD, and pull up this responsible party. Notice this says responsible party, not patient. Okay, because if the patient is under 18, they are not the responsible party. The parent or the guardian typically is the responsible party, and this is the address we have to fix. So a scenario may be where a child lives with the mother, but the father is the responsible party at a different address. Okay, so we have to correct his address, not necessarily the child's address. It's wherever this statement is going. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that. Um, we basically go as if we're searching for a patient, but instead of searching for a patient, you really want to search for a responsible party. So this is the responsible party tab. And in this case, I'm going to use our famous patient that we always seem to use. And I'm going to look for Mickey Mouse as a responsible party. Okay. Now, I already flagged him as bad mail here. This is what gets Mickey onto that list. So when we get the bad mail in the billing office, we are going to come into the account and change Mickey. They usually start out as a typical account, this one. We're going to flip him to a bad mail account. Okay. The reason we do that is twofold. Number one, it gets him on that list that you're going to be receiving. And secondly, it actually puts the statements on hold so Mickey doesn't get another statement sent out, wasting the money on postage and us receiving this back again. So as long as this patient or this responsible party is flagged as bad mail, no more statements go out. They stop. Okay, so this has to be corrected so that we can get statements out to the patient. Okay, and the way to do that again is to just search for the responsible party of the name that's on the list. Okay, once you find the issue, you're going to correct it right here in this screen. Okay, so a few ways to research bad mail. The first one is to go look at the photo ID. Generally the photo ID is scanned most of the time, and a good deal of the time that seems to solve the problem. The street name was misspelled, the street number was incorrect, the apartment number wasn't placed on the account, and the zip code being wrong. So all those obvious things that are just typos would be the first place I'd look. So find the photo ID. If that doesn't seem to solve your problem because it's not there, or it matches what you put in the system, yet it's still bad mail, there's a couple other places you can look. One place that occasionally works is going into the insurance tab for Mickey. And he doesn't have anything in here, but if you click, if he had insurance and we check the eligibility, if you click on this details button right here, a window will pop up and you'll see, you may see the address that the insurance carrier has on file. So perhaps that's the correct address. We need to use our judgment on what the correct address is here. The third, and probably the best way to do it, is to actually go over into the EHR side and look for any forms that Mickey filled out. If he only has one visit, then his chart should have the the handwritten chart on what they put as their address. Sometimes the front desk will enter the information that's on that form, but it's hard to read because the patient's writing it out. So maybe it's just a misspelling because of poor handwriting. That again can be checked against the photo ID to see if the answer's in there somewhere. So once you get the information, you go back to Mickey, you correct the address, let's say it was 222, and you save it. That basically takes care of the problem, except what we need you to do now is let the billing company know that you fixed this mail. Okay, we need to know so we can take the next step and get a statement out. So the way to do that is to change the account type back from bad mail to what we call fixed mail. The easiest way to do that is to blank out what's in here, hit the 3 dots, and change it to fixed mail, and then save. So when this gets flipped to fixed mail, tomorrow or the next day, when this generates, if this were Mickey, fixed would say yes. So now you know it's off your list, you took care of it. Okay? And then on our side, we will get a statement out to the patient and remove it from this list by flipping it to typical account. So it'll go almost the exact same process we do with the incomplete charts. Very, very similar. You don't need to change the appointment type, obviously. You just, the single job is to correct the address as best you can and flip it to fixed mail. That lets us know you fixed it. That timestamps it. That puts whoever fixed its name on it. We can look these things up in the audit log here and see sort of what's happened to Mickey and who's making changes. Okay? See, everything I just did right here is flagged with my name. Okay? So, one thing I didn't mention is, and it does happen relatively often, is the patient needs to be called to clear up their address. We have the phone number. Here it is. Call the responsible party, not the patient. Maybe the same. And let them know. We're trying to send you information. Your address is coming back undeliverable. What is your current mailing address? That may be important too to mention. We need the current mailing address. That may be different from where they live. Okay? Or vice versa. They may want it to go to their parents in Florida because they're a student in New York City. All right, so we'll work on this process together over the course of the next couple of weeks, make sure it works smoothly. I know when we first started doing the incomplete charts, there were some hiccups in there, and it took a little while, but now it's on autopilot, and this process will get to autopilot status relatively soon. All right, thanks very much, everyone. I appreciate your help. Have a nice day.